And we back, and we back, and we back, and we back, baby. Mm, mm. Yeah, we back, yeah, we back, yeah, we back, yeah, we back, baby. Hey, hey, we back, family. Let's get this Genesis 4 going. Let's get this Genesis 4 going. As always, guys, y'all know where to reach me. Y'all know where to reach me. Y'all know where to reach me. It's ghettopointofview@gmail.com. Welcome to the Church of the Ghetto Gospel, man. I hope your day has been going very well so far. Hope you're keeping your water up. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Check out my earlier video where I cover Indian slavery in colonial times within the present limits of the United States to kind of debunk some of the conversation about African slavery being so prevalent here in the Americas. I think that's cap. I think that's complete cap. I don't think it's possible for the Americas to have been simultaneously having all these wars going on with the Indians and the French, the Spaniards, the Americans, etc., all so eager to get Indian slaves for all of their territories, for all of their labor needs, and simultaneously be trying to ship in millions of people from across the water. I think that's just disingenuous and silly to believe. But right now, let's get into Genesis 4, Cain and Abel. And I'm going to share this part of my screen. Right. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. As always, y'all know where to reach me if you have any questions. So Genesis 4 reads as such. And Adam knew his wife Eve. And we understand that knew his wife, means he slept with his wife. And she conceived and bare Cain and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. And she again bare his brother Abel. And Abel was a keeper of the sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. Abel was a keeper of the sheep, Cain a tiller of the ground. And in the process of time, as it came to pass, Cain brought the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering. But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance falling? I mean, why so sad, Cain? What's going on, bro? Talk to me, man. And if thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted. And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him. Mm-mm-mm. And the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? He said, am I my brother's keeper, y'all? Oh, he got real indignant. And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. And we see that lowercase e for earth there. Uh-oh. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. And Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. And the Lord said unto him, therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. Meaning, if you slay Cain, oh, I'm going to slay you 7 times worse. I'm going to get you, your family. Oh, it's on. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. And some people say this is when Cain had horns put on him, some type of beastly mark. And Cain went out of the presence of the Most High, or excuse me, of the Lord. That definitely don't say God. Presence of the Lord. So how do we know the Lord in this situation is just not Adam? How do we know that? Adam was the Lord in this situation. When she says, I got a child from the Lord, why? What are we saying here? And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bare Enoch. And Cain knew his wife. Excuse me. And Cain went out from the presence of the Lord and dwelt in the land of Nod, east of Eden. And Cain knew his wife. Hold on. Where did this woman come from? I thought the only people on the planet were Adam, Eve, Cain, and Abel. How did Cain get a wife? How did Cain get a wife? His wife ain't Eve. That would be sinful. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bare Enoch. And he builded a city and called the name of the city after the name of his son Enoch. Now here's where we get into interesting conversations, family. Genesis 4:17, and Cain knew his wife. Family, where did this woman come from? The land of Nod? So you're telling me the land of Nod on the east of Eden already had people populated there before Adam and Eve? Or at the same time as Adam and Eve? It doesn't say that this woman is a relative of Adam and Eve's, a daughter. It doesn't say any of those things. We're going to have to dig into some other books to get some more context, family, because this is interesting. Either there are some daughters being born and Cain is making a child with one of his sisters, or there were other people already here in the land of Nod on the east of Eden. Now, let's get into this. And bare Enoch, and he builded a city and called the name of the city after his son Enoch. The name of the city after his son Enoch. The name of the city after his son Enoch. The name of the city. The name of the city after his son Enoch. For those that don't know, this is Tenoch Titlan. Tenoch Titlan. I'm just conjecturing. I ain't showed no evidence yet being the operative word. This is Tenoch Titlan. This is Tenochtitlan, aka what we would now know today as Mexico. Tenochtitlan, Mexico City. Tenochtitlan, ancient city in Mexico, ancient capital of the Aztec Empire. Located at the site of modern Mexico City. It was founded in circa 1325 in the marshes of Lake Texcoco. It formed a confederacy. My people know about the confederacies in the book. With Texcoco, Tlacopan, and was the Aztec capital by the late 15th century. Originally located on two small islands in Lake Texcoco, it gradually spread through the construction of artificial islands to cover more than 5 square miles or 13 square kilometers. It was connected to the mainland by several causeways. The population in 1519 was estimated to be about 400,000 people, though I think that's a very, 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 very small estimate. The largest residential concentration in Mesoamerican history. It contained the palace of Montezuma II, said to consist of 300 rooms as well as hundreds of temples. It was destroyed by the Spanish conquistadors under Hernan Cortés in 1521 as he was looking for gold. The Battle of Tenochtitlan, May 22nd to August 13, 1521. Military engagement between the Aztecs and a coalition of Spanish and indigenous combatants. Spanish conquistadores, commanded by Hernan Cortés, allied with local tribes to conquer the Aztec capital of city of Tenochtitlan. Cortés's army besieged Tenochtitlan for 93 days, and the combination of superior weaponry and devastating smallpox, whatever. This smallpox thing is thrown totally out of such nonsense. Outbreak enabled the Spanish to conquer the city. Cortés's victory destroyed the Aztec Empire, and the Spanish began to consolidate control over what became the colony of New España. All right, hold on 1 second. All right, guys, back. Sorry about that. And so we had Genesis 4 and 18. And on to Enoch was born Irad, and Irad begat Mahuhael, and Mahuhael begat Methusael, and Methusael begat Lamech. And Lamech took unto him 2 wives. The name of one was Ada, and the name of the other Zillah. And Ada bare Jabal. He was the father of such as dwell in tents, and of such as have cattle. And his brother was named Jubal. He was the father of such as handle the harp and organ. So you see, Jabal here was more a man of the tents and a man of those who did animal husbandry, the father of animal husbandry, while Jubal was seen as the father of a lot of musicality. And Zillah, she also bore Tubal Cain. Shout to my people that's on that type of time. Genesis 4, verse 22. 22 is 4. And Zillah also bare Tubal Cain, an instructor and artificer in brass and iron. And the sister of Tubal Cain was Naamah. My goodness. And Lamech said unto his wives, Ada and Zillah, hear my voice, ye wives of Lamech. Hearken unto my speech, for I have slain a man to my wounding, and a young man to my hurt. If Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, truly Lamech 70 and sevenfold. And Adam knew his wife again, and she bare a son and called his name Seth. For God said, she hath appointed me. For God, she said, had appointed me another seed instead of Abel, whom Cain slew. So this time she's directly saying, not that I got a man from the Lord, that God hath appointed me another seed instead of Abel, whom Cain slew. This is different. She's saying Seth was ordained by God himself. Very interesting. And Seth, to him also there was born a son, and he called his son Enos. Then began man to call upon the name of the Lord. Whew. But guys, we can't. This 417 is crazy, because where did Cain's wife come from? In the land of Nod. Where did these people that were living in Nod come from? So if there's a wife there, a woman of marrying age there for Cain, that has to be a mother and father of this woman. No, they had to come together and consummate their marriage and create this woman who Cain could marry in the land of Nod. So there were other people there. The story's getting a lot deeper, family. Let's see what we see in the next chapter. Genesis chapter 5, verse 1. This is the book of the generations of Adam. In the day that God created man, in the likeness of God made he him. Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam. And the day when they were created, and Adam lived 130 years and begat a son in his own likeness and after his image, and called his name Seth. And the days of Adam after he had begotten Seth, what, 800 years. So this is saying Adam lived another 800 years after Seth was born, and he begat sons and daughters. And all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. And Seth lived 105 years and begat Enos. And Seth lived after he begat Enos 807 years. And some people were like, how could people have lived so long? Well, there's a conversation that after people started to truly sin and sins came into the world, and after people changed their dietary laws and went away from certain dietary instructions, the Most High said, or God said, I would no longer dwell within man. And after he made that statement that he would no longer dwell directly within man, they started to live much shorter and shorter lives. And you start to see people no longer living 1,000, 800, 900 years, and the lifespan starts to go only to 100, 110, 120 years before the book of Moses ends. So but you'll see it, guys. The lifespan starts to get very short, and very similar to the lifeline, the amount of time that we live in our lives today. And all the days of Seth were 912 years, and he died. And Enos lived 90 years and begat Canaan. And Enos lived after he begat Canaan 815 years and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Enos were 905 years, and he died. And Canaan, not Cain, but Canaan, lived 70 years and begat Mahalalel. And Canaan lived after he begat Mahalalel 840 years and begat sons and daughters. And the days of Canaan were 910 years, and he died. And Mahalalel lived 60 and 5 years, and begat Jared. And Mahalalel lived. That's a tongue twister right there. Mahalalel. I'm sorry. My daughter's in the background, y'all. I'm being silly. And Mahalalel lived after he begat Jared 830 years and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Mahalalel were 895 years, and he died. And Jared lived 862 years and begat Enoch. So here we have another Enoch. This one, the son of Jared. And Jared lived after he begat Enoch 800 years, and he begat sons and daughters. And the days of Jared were 962 years, and he died. And Enoch lived 65 years and begat Methuselah. Many people say Methuselah was the quote unquote very first technically person to practice an ancient Hebraic Judaic form of faith. And Enoch walked with God after he begat Methuselah 300 years and begat sons and daughters. And The days of Enoch were 365 years. 365 years were the days of Enoch. Is that how we get the 365-day calendar from Enoch? I'm gonna leave that alone. And Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. So hold on, this person that's Enoch is so special that he didn't die, that he just walked with God after living 365 years. And he's the father of Methuselah. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm just conjecturing. And Methuselah lived after he begat Lamech 708 and 2 years and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Methuselah were 960 and 9 years, and he died. And Lamech lived 108 and 2 years and begat a son, and he called his son's name Noah. This saying shall comfort us concerning our work and toil of our hands, because of the ground which the Lord hath cursed. And Lamech lived after he begat Noah 595 years and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Lamech were 777 years, and he died. And Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begat Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now we're getting somewhere. It's getting spicy. Genesis 6. The corruption of mankind. And it came to pass when man began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives, of which they chose. The sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, meaning very beautiful, and they took them of all wives which they chose. Now, what does this mean? Does this mean that some people who were seen as more holy than others and considered sons of God took daughters of men that they thought were fair and took whichever ones they chose? Or does this have a deeper meaning, as some would say, that entities, deities, angels, if you will, fallen angels, if you will, made a pact among themselves and came and took wives that they weren't supposed to have from among the daughters of men? Are we going to get into some other books that's going to suggest some things? But I'll leave that for another time. I'm going to continue on with Genesis 6, King James Version. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, as I was talking about with you guys earlier. And for that he is also flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. So you start to see now, after this, people will not have as long lives according to biblical text. There were giants in the earth in those days. And also after that, when the sons of God came on to the daughters of men, and they bare children unto them, and the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. What the hell does this mean, ghetto? What is this talking about? There were giants in the earth in those days. And also after that, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men. So there were giants in the earth then, but then also after the sons of God, these angels, these walkers, these fallen angels, these people going against the Most High, their God, to come into the daughters of men, to have children with the daughters of men, a new breed of giants was born. And also after that, when the sons of God came into, they bare children, and them children became mighty men of old, men of renown. Some people would argue one of those men was Hercules. Some people would argue the entire Greek pantheon. is a story of these gods having children with earth women. Zeus being one of the most prominent examples. Hera was Zeus's god wife or goddess type wife, but Zeus had Hercules with a earthling woman. And the woman wanting to save her son, as the story goes, named him Hercules, meaning for the love or to the honor of Hera, to try to save her son from Hera's wrath. But as the story goes, Hera very much hated Hercules and put him through tons of trials, trying to end his life, but ultimately helping him find his deify himself and become immortal and be able to live upon Mount Olympus. Some people would argue that the Hercules story has parallels to the story of Samson. And we'll get into that. Let's see. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented to the Lord that he had made man on earth, and it grieved him at his heart. And the Lord said, I will destroy man who I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing and the fowls of the air. For it repenteth me that I have made them. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. There are generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations. I thought the only perfect person was Jesus, according to some Christians. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations, and Noah walked with God. Oh, like Enoch walked with God. Well, Noah must have been very special then. And Noah begat 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Oh, now we getting somewhere. You know, I don't want to sound anti-Shem, but I don't know if you can be anti-Shem if the person you're talking about is related to Japheth. I don't know how you can be anti-Shem if the person you're talking about is related to Japheth, Gomer, Javon. I don't know. But I guess we'll find out, won't we? All right then. The Genesis 6:11, we're continuing. The earth was also corrupt before God. The earth was also corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. And God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for the flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. For all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. My goodness. And God said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Make thee an ark of gopher wood. Rooms shalt thou make in the ark, and shalt pitch it within and without with pitch. And this is the fashion which thou shalt make of it. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, the breadth of it 50 cubits, and the height 30 cubits. So this is a massive structure that he was being instructed to put together. And a window shalt thou make to the ark, and in a cubit shalt thou finish it above. And the door of the ark shalt thou set in the side thereof, with lower second and third stories shalt thou make it. And behold, I, even I, do bring a flood of waters upon the earth to destroy all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. My goodness. From under heaven, and everything that is in the earth shall die. But with thee will I establish my covenant. But with thee will I establish my covenant. And thou shalt come into the ark, thou and thy sons and thy wife and thy sons' wives with thee. And of every living thing of all flesh, two of every sort shall thou bring into the ark to keep them alive with thee. They shall be male and female, of fowls after their kind, and cattle after their kind, and every creepy thing of the earth after his kind. Two of every sort shall come unto thee to keep them alive. And take thou unto thee of all food that is eaten, and thou shalt gather it to thee, and it shall be for food for thee and for them. This part, they don't really talk about that much, that he was also ordered to gather a bunch of food. But it would be sensible that he would need food for them and for his family. Seems sensible to me. Thus did Noah, according to all that God commanded him, so did he. And I'm gonna leave it right there for now, family. I thank you guys so much for rocking with me for this Bible study. It's so appreciated. His ghetto point of view at gmail.com, as you see at the bottom of the screen, is where you can reach out to me. His ghetto point of view at gmail.com. And then those are my IGs right there. Feel free to reach out. Feel free. Let me know how crazy I am. Let me know how none of this makes any sense. Definitely check out the video from earlier where we talk about all of the Indian slavery using the text Indian slavery in the colonial times within the present limits of the United States as a reference point. Please, guys, any questions? Tap in, tap in, tap in, and I will see you guys for this Shabbat session next week. See you later. Oh, my daughter is saying goodbye. I'm so sorry. Say bye again, beautiful.
Bye.
Bye. Peace, everybody. Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.